Home insurance is complicated. At the end of the day, you want great insurance for a great price, and you want it to be easy and fast to switch. That's where our friends at Allstate come into the picture.
Check Allstate first, and you could save $574 on your home insurance. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
Handsome, chatting with friends on the Handsome Pod. Chatting with friends on the Handsome Pod.
Cheers. Welcome to the Handsome Pod.
Hey. Welcome.
Welcome.
Yes,
I'm Fortune Feimster.
I'm May
Fortune.
Martin.
That's May. Yeah, and I'm Tig. I'm Tig
And
Notaro.
we're here.
And we are queer. And I've started to get used to it, to be honest.
I'm used to you being that too.
Yeah.
I'm still coming around.
To being used to me being gay or any of that, really?
Yeah, being used to you specifically being queer.
Okay. Well, I've been dabbling in the queer and gay world for a while now, and
for some time.
I've settled. I have, yeah. I feel like a professor at this point.
Well, you look very professorial.
Mm-hmm.
Are they new glasses, or am I just not up to date with your glasses? Those are them.
Oh, these might be old ones that I found in my dresser before I left for New York, but I can't remember. But I did go and have my eyes checked, and I have like an actual legitimate pair of glasses coming because I've never done that. I've always had
really?
drugstore readers, and they're in every drawer, and I sit on them. They're in my back pocket. And
how bad are your eyes when they tested them? Do you have astigmatism, or what do you got?
No, I think just I have 53ism. Yeah, I think
right.
I think it's just age. And I went in for the appointment solely to see if I should get the surgery, and the doctor said that it probably wouldn't be another 5 years until I would actually need that, and that it's really bad to do it prematurely. So
I didn't know that.
Shit, I got the surgery.
Oh, you did?
Prematurely?
Yeah. Probably.
Really?
I was born
like,
premature.
Let's just do it while you're at it.
No, maybe your eyes were at a place that, obviously it doesn't have to do with age, but yeah.
I was pretty gung ho. I was like, I feel like I pressured the guy into doing it. Me and Fortune are both in Toronto right now.
Isn't that wild?
Isn't that wild? We haven't
really
seen each other.
wild.
I bet if I yell loud enough, if I yell out my window, maybe you'll hear me.
Put out the
And do you have any plans to see each other?
Loose.
Yeah, I mean, not well. May invited me this weekend to hang at a very fun evening, but I was in Kansas City for a big charity event.
How good is this event that I invited Fortune to? It's a lesbian rock cover band called Vag Halen.
Halen.
They are so good and hot and talented. I've known them for years, and it was a hell of a show.
They're so good, they're gonna make you wet.
I think they said that.
Wait, they said what?
They're so hot, they're gonna make you wet. I don't know. I was just
Fortune Marie. I mean, dare you?
Felt like Vag Halen. That might be something they would say.
I wonder how Van Halen would feel about this.
I feel like they'd be into it. They play all kinds of stuff. It was fun to be at a concert, but I felt kind of creepy because I'm so into my photography now. Like I'm into 35 millimeter film. So I was like this little creep in the front row snapping pics, and it was weird. It was like I couldn't just enjoy the show. I was like up in their grill taking pictures.
But isn't that what everybody does now? Is they just take pictures and videos at shows? And I mean, there's no way you stuck out in this situation.
Oh, trust me, I stuck out. I was like scurrying around back and forth in the front. Everyone else, had their phones up and stuff. But I have this giant, I look like paparazzi. It's got this huge lens on it. And I'm like,
oh, I see. Okay. It wasn't just like a camera around your neck that's this thick.
Did you know the band?
Yeah, I do. I know them. I've known them since I was about 20. Yeah, I'm in my hometown.
And do they?
That's right.
Do they do Van Halen covers, or do they do their own?
Yeah, they do covers. They do Van Halen. They do Nirvana. They do
Oh my
Black
God.
Sabbath, Led Zeppelin. It was
This is
sick.
right up my alley. This
You
is
would've loved it.
amazing. And so when I can't see them,
I think this was a one-off. It was like a Pride. It was a special
They're
one-off.
never playing
they
again.
play one time and that's it. I missed the one time. That seems highly unlikely.
Yeah,
They're all
yeah.
accountants now, and they're
But-
like,
but
we
really-
only come out of retirement once a year.
No, they are genuinely. I think 3 out of 5 of them are therapists by profession.
Oh my God, hilarious. Do you think at any point they were like, should we have named ourselves Vag Halen?
Yeah, some of my clients are. Yeah,
Maybe they're sex therapists.
yeah, maybe.
Oh, yeah. May posted a video from the night and it looked really fun. I had a really fun time too, but I hated that they were on the same weekend.
You were in Kansas.
Yeah, I got to meet Travis Kelce. Don't be jealous.
Take. Do you know who that is?
Ooh, I do.
Do you know who? Oh,
Okay.
you do.
I do. I
Yeah.
know. He's with
was-
Tay
Tay
Tay.
Swift.
Correct.
Yeah, it was this big event called the Big Slick that they raised like $4 million for the children's hospital out there. I did
Oh,
a
man.
show for them, and it was a fun, crazy weekend. And I got to meet the big guy. He made me feel really like a dainty, pretty little lady.
Really? Well,
I
you have
bet.
the guys that you like Channing Tatum, are the big guys. You like
They
a.
pick me up and do the gyrating.
Sorry.
We all have our stuff. Look, I saw my boyfriend Billy this weekend
How
in
was
Los
that?
Angeles. You know, it's really it's so funny because we were doing one of those 4-year consideration Emmy events for the
Yeah.
morning show, and everybody, of course, is all dolled up, and Billy
You had on your
blue
blazer.
jeans. No, blue jeans, t-shirt, some soccer, some soccer tennis shoes, and
Yeah.
does that make
Billy in
sense?
the blue
Soccer
jeans.
tennis shoes,
Soccer tennis shoes, like Adidas or something.
soccer, yeah, like those, indoor
Wait,
flat
soccer
ones.
shoes. Yeah,
You just
yeah.
mean like running shoes?
No, like those like black Adidas with the white stripes.
Oh,
and
okay.
they're-
All right. Yeah.
I think they're indoor soccer
Yeah.
shoes.
I love
But
that
you
you
know,
wore a t-shirt.
he did.
He did
Oh,
no
he
Not
Tig.
did.
me.
Tig
He
dressed
was
up.
in a t-shirt, blue jeans, and these soccer shoes.
I
and,
see. I thought that was you.
No, I was jealous that he showed up in that. I was like, well, that's what I was wearing at the house. You know, I didn't have to get dolled up in black jeans and a black button down like I did.
And
Dolled
then
up.
and you giggled around him the whole time.
I did. I giggled a bit for
Billy.
sure. Yeah. I did say, "Oh, the love of my life." So we all saw. Did you have any boyfriends this weekend, May?
Well, there weren't many men around at the Vag
At Vag
Halen show.
Halen, that
Vag
surprised me.
Halen
Yeah.
was kind of exclusively queer women and
But was that a
non-binary
whole
people.
weekend?
No, that was. You're
wish.
right. You're right.
For 2 days, Vag Halen will not stop.
No, I haven't seen anyone. I've been working. I saw my parents. I haven't seen them in some months, and I went over and saw my dad's new puppets. He debuted. You know, he's making these
nice.
puppets. So
Yes,
he was like,
yes.
I won't keep you long, but I would like to show you my new puppets. And then I went upstairs and he's made like one called the Magician, these like crazy creatures that, I'm really into it.
Wow.
His like bedroom has kind of become this like Geppetto's workshop. There's just sawdust everywhere, little devices and magnifying glasses. And he's like, got a whole world going on.
That's so
Dang.
great.
I know.
And did
I
you
know.
like The Magician?
It was very sinister. They look like they come alive at night. Their eyes are very real.
Oh,
And
no.
yeah, I wonder if he talks to them at night. I hope so.
Yeah, your
I'm
dad's
certain
like,
he does.
Your dad's like, I'm bored.
Yeah.
I'm bored. I need. And your mother's not
No.
talking to me.
She's watching Survivor. I'm gonna make some friends. They're
gotta-
very cool.
I got to talk with my puppets.
I didn't get a chance to tell you guys that the movie that we have worked our face off on for years trying to get made, and then finally got made. The premiere went so well. It was very exciting.
That's so
Truly.
cool.
I'm
Congrats,
excited.
bud.
Yeah.
I wonder if my
thanks. It
dad feels like
good.
this when my dad unveils a puppet. I wonder if it's the same. Like, yeah.
It's so nice to get to watch it, I'm sure, on the big screen, because that's happening less and less now, getting to see things in a movie theater.
Absolutely. It was, and I think about you see those award shows where people are like, I just want to thank so and so, you believed in us, and this took us 10 years to make. And I used to watch that thinking, why would it take 10 years to make a movie? But it's like the meetings that we had to go through to get this to a certain point, and then getting actors and actresses attached to movies. Because, somebody that doesn't work in this particular industry can look at a project and say, why did you cast that person? Why didn't you cast this person?
Right.
How come you shot it here? And why didn't you do this? And there are so many moving parts. Like Stephanie and I have 3 other movies that are in pre-production right now that it's like you get all of these great actors, and then anybody's schedule can shift, and then you lose an actor, and then you're looking for another one, and then maybe you lose your tax credit in Los Angeles, then you have to move the production to New Jersey, and then that makes you lose another actor, and then another one comes on, and it's truly Jenga. And so the fact that anything gets made is a miracle, an absolute miracle.
It is a huge feat. I'm 7 years into a movie that has been on like the 2-yard line forever, and you're like, come on.
Yeah, it's really something, but it feels really good, and it was just such a relief that people were like dying laughing and crying. It was just all perfect.
I want to see it on the big screen. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to rent a theater.
Well,
do it.
Actually, the Airbnb that I'm staying in, the guy who owns it in the basement has a screening room. Like he's put like a giant projector on the wall, and then he's got a big old DVD collection. And then I felt like such a loser because Parv FaceTimed me to see what I was up to, and I was kind of working out, but mainly I was sitting in the screening room, and I was watching her season of Survivor on the big screen. So I was like, well, I'm just watching you on the big screen.
I'm watching you right now.
She was like, get a life.
While lifting weights.
Just pumping iron, looking at my girl.
So when do you see her? Like, how often will you be able to see her?
They're coming for like a week, in a couple weeks. And then, I don't know, I'm just trying to lure her here for long weekends and stuff. Promising her, adventures and things, but it's an annoyingly long flight. It's like 5.5 hours or something.
It is long.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jax was out here for like a week, and then she's like, I'm going home.
Yeah, like especially because you're working, right, Fortune? So she's just on her own. Like, well, she and Parv could hang. They could hang with my dad.
There you go. Those little puppet show.
Do a puppet show. Yeah.
Yes. I had to go today to get like a physical with the production doctor to get cleared for insurance, and he was like, well, I just did FUBAR and I met Schwarzenegger, so he must have met you, Fortune.
I did mine back in LA.
Oh damn.
So I don't think I met
with
this
that
guy.
one woman in the valley that does them.
Is there one woman in LA who's like
one woman who's like 4 foot tall,
and she's just like,
she looks
you're
like
healthy.
the lady from the Poltergeist movie, Count to the Light, Caroline. And she's
well, I didn't see that, but
this lady I've seen on so many productions.
Come to
Every
the light,
time
Carolyn.
she goes, hello, has anyone ever told you have a small windpipe? I'm like,
what?
You did 2 years ago and the 2 years before that.
Wait, Fortune, we learn new things about you every episode.
Yeah,
you
like down in my throat.
Fortune's got a tiny little windpipe.
That's
Let it be
adorable.
known.
I haven't had to use it for much. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, how dare you?
Oh my God.
I was just saying to Stephanie the other day when she said some sentence that included windpipe. And I was like, do you mean trachea? Why? Why? Where did windpipe come from?
Windpipe.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Feels like before there were doctors. They're like, there is a windpipe running from...
And they're like, oh, your stomach is like your food bag. Yeah.
She's like, do you snore? I'm like, yeah, we don't need to get into that.
A small windpipe. And wait, were you implying just then that in given a blowjob that it would go in your windpipe?
I mean, I don't know.
Fortune doesn't know.
Doesn't it go near
yeah,
it?
there's no world that people are like cutting off their
They're
windpipe.
breathing. Whatever it takes, man. Whatever it
Yeah.
takes. I am always on the go, and for a long time, I thought that meant it was impossible to eat fresh and healthy food. Thrive Market has made me a believer that you can be busy without sacrificing taste and quality in your meals and snacks.
Thrive Market is my go-to for all of my grocery and household essentials. Everything from Annie's noodles to simply organic spices to jovial crackers delivered right to my doorstep. Not only do I save time shopping as a Thrive Market member, I also save money on every single grocery order. On average, I save over 30% each time. When you join Thrive Market, you're also helping a family in need with their 1-for-1 membership matching program. You join, they give.
Save time and money and shop Thrive Market today. Go to thrivemarket.com/handsome for 30% off your first order plus a free $60 gift. That's THRIVE market.com/handsome. thrivemarket.com/handsome.
If you're a homeowner who doesn't want to deal with switching your home insurance, we understand. Switching can feel like a big chore on the to-do list, but with Allstate, getting a better rate is as quick and easy as can be.
Check Allstate first and you could save $574 on your home insurance. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Let's face it. Sometimes it's hard to be handsome and smell good. Fortunately, Lumi Whole Body Deodorant is making it so none of us ever have to worry about BO again.
I have been working outdoors a lot this summer, and I just rubbed some of that Lumi all over me, and boy, Tig, I was
Tell me about it.
smelling.
Yeah.
I was smelling really good, and it lasts a long time. It was, I don't know, it was the talk of the town.
I heard about it. Lumi's starter pack is perfect for new customers. As a special offer for listeners, new customers get 15% off all Lumi products with our exclusive code. And if you combine that 15% off with the already discounted starter pack, that equals over 40% off their starter pack. Use code HANDSOME for 15% off your first purchase at lumideodorant.com. That's code HANDSOME at LUMIDEODORANT.com.
I don't know how it works.
You don't know how it works? You really don't know how it works?
I really don't. I don't know,
Well, I know.
the ins and outs of it.
Oh,
Hello.
you remember being in school and you first hear the term blowjob, and I thought it was blowing. You like blowing air onto it, like yeah, blowing air onto it.
That's not what it is.
I don't think I thought to.
It should be more of a blow suck. This
Right.
also sucks.
Oh,
I think when I heard the term,
anyways,
I think when I heard the term, I just thought that doesn't sound like this includes me.
and you're like, it sounds like work.
Yeah, it does sound like work. Why do I want to work?
Does this sound like this sounds
Can
like
it
a
be
Seinfeld
blow
bit.
fun?
Blow job? Whose job is it to blow?
Make it blow fun and sign me up.
Yeah.
I just love this particular podcast. You know, we're for everyone. We will also talk about blowjobs.
Of course, if that's what you want.
If that's
We
what
I mean,
do that.
keep going, Fortune. Let's hear more.
Well, I've never given one, so I don't know what else to share.
Have you come close to it?
God no.
God no.
I've touched one wiener. That's it.
Yep.
And no one else tried to put one in my mouth.
No one's tried to put one in my mouth. I used to be so stressed about like urban legends to do with sex. Like when I was, when kids start talking about it and you're going through puberty, like they would say if you accidentally get air in your vagina, you die. But this was around the time where people were talking about, and people were talking about like if you hit your bridge of your nose goes into your brain, you die. Like I feel like that was the era of a lot
never
of
heard
like
that
you could
either.
die. Oh, you haven't?
No.
No.
I heard if you step on a crack, you break your mother's back.
Well,
I
that's
heard that,
true.
and it's true. It is. It is. It's
But no, I
it's a
haven't heard these other
scary,
ones,
scary
Mary.
thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so you were worried about getting air in places.
Yeah. Well, the whole thing just sounded like life or death. Like, why would
Yeah.
you? Yeah.
It is.
Anyways,
It's all life or death.
I'm glad everyone's still with us.
oh, me too. I'm glad we made it.
I was thinking about how our guest today, when you're talking about blowjobs, and I feel like our guest
How was
has
that
it.
fortune?
Unfortunately,
You almost said that to me.
To you, fortune.
Well, you can. It's across the board. And
Oh,
even if you're
Fortune
out in the
Marie.
wild.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I love that. I didn't realize that it could be used universally.
I
Like
think
if
now
Oh,
it has crossed over to
yes.
Universal.
Listen.
Yes.
if you're listening to the pod and you're at a family dinner and someone says something, just go, Fortune Marie.
Fortune Marie. But our guest today has a song that talks about blowjob. Like
Going
briefly
down on
mentions.
you in a theater.
Oh,
Well,
that,
don't
I mean,
blow it. Don't blow it with your
Oh,
windpipe. With
I
your
wonder
tiny
if anyone
windpipe.
can guess from that.
I just remember when this album came out and being scandalized by that song because it was, are you thinking of me when you fuck her? And then also, yeah, would she go down on you in a theater? I was electrified. I was edge of my mom would work out to the album and I was like wide-eyed, just like, what? And I still know every single word of that album for sure.
Yeah, there's
It
not
was
really
huge.
before her. There wasn't. We're not saying the name. I love it.
I know.
But before her album came out, there weren't really pop songs that bleeped out such vulgarities. Wouldn't you agree? That
I
like we're
mean-
really hitting the top of the charts. This was a massive album.
Wasn't
Yeah.
she like
You know, this-
17 or something? Like pretty young,
I don't
right?
know.
19, I think.
19?
I think 19 when
Okay.
she recorded the album, and like instant, what a wicked role model though for like, I was just like, I want to be like her.
She's a badass, dude.
Badass.
And do you
yeah.
feel like you are like her?
I'm trying to
I'm
imagine.
not as cool as her. I know that for a fact.
I
About myself.
yeah, Fortune, I think you are a badass for sure. I don't like to take up a lot of space. Like I remember seeing, should we say who this person is?
Yeah, let's
We're being
say
Let's
it.
never
we're being-
mention her name.
I saw Alanis Morissette, our question asker guest today, live in concert, and she was like whipping her hair around, and so I just thought I don't think I can take up space in that way, but what a cool thing to aspire to, just to be like, yeah, here, oh man.
She's real good. She's real good.
And she is Canadian.
She's Canadian,
Yes, she
and
is.
when I saw her live, I was, I don't know, 14 or something. And I always remember I was way at the back of the venue. Like I would have been an aunt to her. And there was this woman beside me who was convinced she had eye contact with Alanis the whole time. And so if Alanis looked vaguely in the direction, this woman was waving and tears were pouring down her face. And I think she really thought Alanis was singing to her and that they had eye contact. And
That's got to be half the audience, you
Yeah,
know,
you're
at
right.
any show, even at a Vag Halen
yes,
show.
yeah.
I'm just now thinking the moment that they came up with that name, they must have had such a fun giggle fit with Vag Halen.
Popped a bottle of champagne. Yeah.
I have met Alanis Morissette. We have a
Yeah?
mutual friend and have socialized.
No way.
So.
I met her at the
I thought I'd try and impress you, but it's true.
I met her at the finale of Chelsea lately, and she was super cool.
Well, 2 against 1.
Have
I
you
never
guys
met her.
Seen that her documentary? It's amazing.
No.
I
2
haven't.
against
Oh, it's so good. It just reminds you of like the giant stuff she was accomplishing at such a young age. These giant stadium shows, and I mean, so many hits.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, she was from Nickelodeon, right? And was getting the slime poured on her head. And then
Yeah.
Shut up.
you're
Oh,
never
you didn't
like,
see that, May?
No, I didn't know
You-
that. She
wait,
was in
what?
yeah, she was a Nickelodeon star and was
No
like,
way.
what was it
You
like?
had
Who
no
slimed me
idea?
or whatever?
No, that's crazy.
Wait, you guys didn't get Nickelodeon?
No, but I kind of can relate to that because I was on a YTV show called Uh-Oh when I was a kid and I got slimed.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Well, there
This
you
was
go.
called You
You
Can't
are
Do That
just
on
like her.
Yeah.
This was called You Can't Do That on Television, right?
Oh, right. Yeah, it's not called Who Slimed Me like I suggested.
Who
but-
slimed me? They would be in lockers and pop out and talk, and it was pretty cool.
Whoa, you cannot do that on TV. You cannot pop out of a locker.
Someone should make a show called Whose Slime Is It Anyway? Anyways,
Ooh, that is good. Well, tell us more about this person.
all right. Today's questioner is a Canadian-American singer-songwriter who's sold more than 75 million records. She's the winner of 7 Grammy Awards, and her album Jagged Little Pill is considered one of the greatest albums of all time. Not just considered, it is, indisputably. Alanis Morissette
Right
is
up there
asking
with
today's
Vag
question.
Halen. Yes.
Veteran!
Oh, hi, I didn't see you there. I have a question for you three. First of all, I love you, and thank you for having me on the show. I love each of you in very distinct ways.
We'd like to know how.
Okay, so the question for you is, what was the most unusual way you've made a friend? I can't wait to hear your answers.
Gosh, she's so
Interesting.
radiantly beautiful as well. Do you remember she was
May
in that
calm
movie?
down. May calm
Sorry.
down.
Yeah,
May calm down.
she's very beautiful.
I'm sweating. Do you remember she was in that movie Dogma and she played God? And I just
yeah.
recently I realized that often if I picture God, I still picture Alanis.
Yeah, that tracks.
Wow.
That
Yeah.
tracks.
Wow.
And I picture God quite a bit.
Yeah, getting a long line, kid.
Keep it in your pants over there.
But I'm not saying I'm like having fantasies about God. Anyway, let's cut
Just
that out.
Alanis. If you were. The thought I have that comes to mind right away is years ago, in my early days of living in Los Angeles, I picked up a job working as a production assistant on a commercial.
Okay.
And the star of the commercial was Michaela Watkins. Do you know Michaela?
Michaela's so funny. She was on SNL for a season and been in
Yeah.
a lot of like TV shows ever since.
Okay.
Yeah, and movies. She does a lot of film and TV, and she's just so painfully funny. I think she was in The Groundlings too, was she? Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, she was the star of the commercial and I was a PA and we just, I think, sat together at lunch, and I was so, how it is on productions where you don't really interact with certain
There's a hierarchy.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
real hierarchy. And but man, we were off to the races together. We were laughing so hard. Just our sensibilities lined up fully and doing a lot of bits and what ifs and oh my God, imagine this and that. And we continued to hang out on set and talk every day. I know it doesn't sound that weird, but I think at the time, because I was a PA, I think people were looking at us like, why is the PA hanging out with the star of the commercial?
Mhm.
And
Imagine if
then-
you like, oh, sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, and then I started, running into her on hikes and at restaurants, and then we became total pals.
Just imagine if you had like the best lunch with her. You're laughing so hard, hanging out, and then lunch ends, and the director comes up and is like, "Michaela says never to look at her again," and you really you transgressed a major etiquette.
I
Well,
wouldn't be
that's
surprised.
nice.
This PA is
if that
bothering
happened.
me.
Yes. Yes.
I'm laughing because I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah.
This summer, I'm taking good care of myself, treading water wherever I can find a pool, for example. Wherever you're off to this summer, you're bringing your microbiome with you too. Seed's DS-01 Daily Symbiotic benefits your gut, skin, and heart health with just 2 capsules a day.
I've been using Seed's DS-01 Daily Symbiotic, and I've noticed that I just feel better taking it. My digestion and skin are improved, and I even notice when I miss a day. Your body is in an ecosystem, and whole body health starts in the gut. And Seed has so many benefits for you and your health routine. Plus, they've got a subscription service so you never miss a dose.
Seed's benefits have been clinically tested, so you know it's a product that's backed by science. Support your gut this summer with Seed's DS01 Daily Symbiotic. Go to seed.com/handsome and use code 25handsome to get 25% off your first month. That's 25% off your first month of Seed's DS01 Daily Symbiotic at seed.com/handsome. Code 25handsome.
Whether you're leaving town for a weekend or, in my case, shooting something in another country for months at a time, deciding what to pack is always so stressful. The clothes I have either don't fit, are worn out, or just don't match. But then I discovered Quince. It's my go-to for high-quality essentials I'll be packing for trips to come.
Like premium European linen dresses, blouses, and shorts from $30, washable silk tops, premium luggage options, and so much more. The best part, Quince partners with top factories and cuts out the middleman, so all their items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. I got a European linen long sleeve shirt from Quince, and it feels so luxurious. But unlike luxury brands, this shirt is only $39.90.
Pack your bags with high-quality essentials with Quince. Go to quince.com/handsome for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/handsome to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/handsome.
No, I could see you guys cutting it up. Y'all have
Oh my
very
God.
funny, sensitive humor.
You being a PA, Tig, it would be like, who is this charismatic PA? Like, I feel like you would make a splash. You know what I mean? I think people would be
I
like,
made some splashes.
Kissing your
yeah.
own hand to everybody.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, I was
doing your
doing
bits.
that. Yeah, doing my little Tig bits. But
Tig bits.
yeah, Michaela was just one of those fun people to come across in life, and I never would have imagined that we would be long-term friends for decades now.
Yeah.
It's weird that people who, like, you can make these really intense friendships, especially on sets, and then it's weird who ends up staying in your life and who is just for a little season, you know? And then you, like,
Yeah.
apparently, okay, this is a fact. 1 in 12
My fact.
friendships last.
1 in 12.
1 in 12 lasts longer than a year.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've never heard that fact.
Well, who knows if they're true? These are, you know.
It is
My
hard to keep in
fact.
touch as you get older. It doesn't mean you're not friends, but it's just like I just find myself not having the time to invest that I had before.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, absolutely. And the I don't know if you've run into this where people, because you're in entertainment and you have success, I've had people from my past kind of pull attitude of like, oh, you think you're too good for us? And it's like,
yeah.
no, I'm 53 years old. I've moved to a million times. I've had a million different versions of my life and people, and you are one part of that. And I enjoyed that. But like, I can't keep in touch with every single person from my life. And if I'm not, then I think I'm too good for people.
I know
That is not
a
fair.
wild, because that wouldn't happen with anybody else. You know,
No.
I've had some people reach out who I've literally not talked to in 20 years
Yeah.
and be like, oh, I see you're doing a show. Let's go have dinner, which is very nice. But I'm like, you're
This
kind
is
of
my-
a stranger to me now.
This is my
Yeah.
problem is,
You know what I mean?
I would have the dinner and I'd be so busy and stressed and you know, like I have so many, I don't know what it is. I hold on to, I'm afraid to let go of friendships, relationships. So I have, like the other
Well,
day.
I'm not like plowing through friends or anything. It's just
Right,
that,
right.
yeah, somebody
Goodbye.
will pop up.
Goodbye.
Look, my closest friends to this day are still my childhood friends from
I have
Yeah.
some
from
great
when I
friends
was
from
young.
home too.
Like,
Yeah.
no, I mean, like we moved out to Los Angeles together. We're still, that's who I spend the majority of my time with. They're godparents to my kids. But I'm not plowing through people at all.
No, but I'm like, it's a problem. Like I'll go buy a sweater in a store and I'll end up giving my phone number and email to the person working there. And then like 8 years later, I'm still being like, yep, sorry, I got to make time for that coffee with that. Like,
Oh no!
yeah.
Wow.
Well, definitely we gotta set up some boundaries there.
Yeah,
Yes,
I really.
indeed.
Yeah.
What about you,
I'm like
Fortune?
in the middle, like where I feel obligated to hang out with certain people. And Jax is like so the opposite of she's like, oh, why? No. And then, but I'm like, and I'll hang out with certain people because there are people I really love and want to see and want to catch up with. We just can't,
Yeah.
I know them since college and I just don't have the time that I used to. But when I see them, it's so lovely.
Yeah.
So I have that for sure. But then if we haven't talked since we were like 15, probably at this point, it's, keep it as a nice memory, our friendship.
What's the weirdest way that you've made a friend though? Like the most.
I don't remember if I told you guys this, but when I first moved to LA 20 years ago, I had a really hard time making friends. And did I ever talk to you guys about all the Craigslist things I
Yes,
did?
dude. Are you
Yes.
kidding?
So
Yes, it's a recurring theme on this
Okay.
podcast.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Do we look familiar to you?
Yeah.
but I don't think I told you about. I didn't go into one specific thing from Craigslist that I did
Oh, here we
at
go.
the African drumming class.
Okay, this maybe you mentioned. I knew about like sports teams and stuff,
So
but
to refresh everyone's memory really quickly, I had a hard time making friends. I went on Craigslist and I was like, I'm gonna make friends. I'm gonna make an
I'm
effort.
gonna get murdered.
I'm gonna get murdered. I joined all these sports teams, and I did start making a bunch of friends, people who I still see, and the great people. But one of those things I don't think I ever mentioned was I cast a wide net. I also joined an African drumming class, and it was in the valley at like a drum shop, and you just like brought a drum and for like an hour this entire group of people just hit drums and played
that must
drums.
be really cathartic though. I can get
Yeah.
into that kind of thing. And would you really get into a trance like state? Like
I would just be like hitting. I had like a I don't even know what they're called now, this like medium-sized drum. It was an African drum.
I would just call it a drum.
And so you're just like, and there was this one girl who was at the class, and we're just this was nothing sexual at all. It was a friend, she's smiling and I'm smiling.
Does it involve a windpipe?
No windpipes. And we're just like connecting as humans, just like, oh, this is fun, like cool. And we exchanged information, and I was coming out of the closet that year. I was in the process of like
slowly toe by
figuring
toe
out who I was, but I literally did not have one gay friend. So I was like, I don't know how to be gay. And that was not part of a coming out process that I ever thought would be a thing. Like, oh, I am gay, but I don't know how to be gay. I don't have any gay friends. And she was a lesbian, and she had a partner at the time of like 5 years. And she just kind of they became like my fairy gay mothers.
Yeah.
And she kind of showed me the way of like, they introduced me to a bunch of gay people, and I started going to gay bars, and it was really this big eye-opening experience of me figuring out myself and that world and being comfortable. And it was a very important part of my coming out journey. And we don't see each other as much these days. She has a kid and I'm busy. I saw her at the Angel City game, and we're friends, and I've met her family, and that she's so lovely. But just one of those people that came into my life at a time when I needed that kind of guidance. And I can't believe it came from an African drumming class.
Oh my God, just smiling at each other across it. That is so
Are you ever
good.
like, hey, maybe we should get together and beat some drums?
After that, I think we went to a couple classes, and then after that, I maybe went like for a month or two, and then that was it.
And you were like, this is not...
I was like, I don't think I'm going to be an African drummer. But it was so, it was such a release, just jamming for an hour.
Very trance-like. Well, actually, Parvati has a giant drum mounted on her wall, like a skin drum, not
Yeah.
human skin, like, you
A
know,
skin drum.
a skin drum. And
Yeah.
when I first met her and I went over and I was like, oh, cool drum. And I thought it was like decorative, but she was like, yeah, I play it on my own. And she'll play it and she'll just make like guttural noises
Yeah.
just as a cathartic release.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
she's been gay for years. Sounds
She
like.
didn't know that drumming was a,
Yeah.
Uh,
I feel
Okay,
like
I think
I was just
Go
going to
on.
say, I feel like drumming and drum circles and all of that is kind of gay.
lends itself. There,
Yeah,
well, I know
yeah.
Venice often has drum circles on the reg. Where
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think we went to a couple of those, like on the beach, people banging
Mhm.
drums and jamming. I think I didn't stick with it because the Venice ones, I think you got to be doing more drugs to enjoy it. and
Yeah, you
I was
got
never a drug person.
Woody
Mhm.
Harrelson's probably there
It's-
drumming
yeah.
away.
Totally.
I know my weirdest way of making a friend. And okay, so when I was 13 and braces, acne, long hair, and I was at the Second City improv classes, and I would go like every Friday and Saturday and sometimes also Sunday to see the main stage show at Second City, like the regular sketch comedy show.
Mhm.
And I was super fan, very like fixated, obsessive, and I would wait at the stage door with an autographed book, and the cast would come out and they'd sign it, and I even this is super embarrassing. I had an online journal called the Live Journal.
Oh, that people
Yeah.
could read. Other people could read it.
Well, I sort of forgot about that part, and I had this like it's like
my
a thing that you like a blog.
I'm gonna put all my secrets online.
It's so
And nobody will know.
It's so embarrassing. So
my
I used to write basically fan fiction that was really close to reality, but it was like, oh, tonight I went to Second City and the cast members put my name in the show. And then afterwards we went and had curry. And it was like, no, you didn't. You never went to have curry. It was psycho. And they found it. The cast must have been Googling their names.
Oh no.
And they found this live journal and they put two and two together. Oh, that's that weird kid who's always at the show. And I remember them coming out and me being like, oh, hello, enjoyed the show tonight. I noticed. And they were like, are you the kid who has that online journal? And I
No.
I doubled down in a lot. I was like, nope.
Nope, not me.
Not me. And they were
And
like,
you were online saying you went out to eat with them and everything?
literally the weirdest, just basically being like, they're my friends. And
oh my
like,
gosh.
Yeah.
Who was I doing it for? Myself, I guess. So embarrassing.
Well,
don't
yeah, it was a
know.
private journal, May. It was
I
just
wonder
for
how they
you.
put two and two together just because you kept showing up.
Oh, because I'm the only like
You're like, anyone like
14-year-old
curry?
yeah. Oh God, I knew all their birthdays. I'd get them birthday presents.
Oh,
like,
wow.
And then I went to, but they were very nice. And
Mhm.
I think I was also like kind of funny and we'd chat and like,
Yeah.
you know, got to know each
Everyone
other a little
thinks they're
bit.
funny, right?
Everyone's like, well, I'm kind of funny. But then I went to summer camp and I would write them letters from camp and put like a pine needle in the envelope. And then this basically one of the cast members who I was particularly drawn to, she's called Carolyn Taylor and she's so funny. And she would write me letters back at camp. And
Oh, wow.
like everyone,
I did not expect that, honestly.
No.
Oh, she was.
I for real thought they were all like, here's our
Later,
restraining
tater.
order.
I think it was
Later,
both.
tater.
I think like
Later, tater.
yeah, she
Are you still in
then
contact with her?
well, yeah. So then I get into drugs. Yeah, now the story takes a turn. So then
Okay,
I get
yeah.
into
Now it
drugs.
gets dark.
That's the natural. That's so then, you know, I left camp, got into drugs.
Well, yeah, and I start like performing at the club. So then I'm like, oh, they're my peers now, right? And I'm just this.
Yeah.
It's kind of like cockroach clinger on, that probably so annoying. And
Was Carolyn there?
she was there, and then
Mhm.
I start dating all these older men, and I get banned from Second City for
What?
2 years, and I kind of lose all my
This is a roller coaster.
I know, and I
You
lose
You
all
got
my
banned
pal
for anything in particular?
for drugs, like for
Oh,
doing
okay.
yeah. And I think my parents read my diaries and stuff.
That,
and
it was online,
Online?
so
no, my physical ones.
You were keeping so many diaries.
So many.
journals.
God.
You're the only person on drugs who's also keeping a diary.
Keeping
Yeah.
fastidious notes. And then anyway, so I kind of lost all my friends suddenly when I'm like 16 and I got kicked out of the house, and all these adults are like, oh shit, we better stop hanging out with this kid we've been doing drugs with and stuff. But Carolyn Taylor was always, she just had good boundaries. Like she never did drugs with me. She was very funny. We were friends, like, but she just was like, oh, but you are 14.
Right.
And then after I got kicked out, she was the only person who like kept in touch with me. And like once a month, she said, I'm going to pick you up from this sketchy apartment you're living in and take you for a burger.
Yeah.
And it'll be wholesome. One time we did laser tag, and it just meant so much to me. And then I turned, 18, 19, and then she comes out, and then now she's still, so I've known her now 23 years, and now we do TV shows together. Like she's one of my best friends. And because we really were drawn to each other, even when I was a 13-year-old weirdo, like we really made each other laugh.
Oh.
And how much older is she again?
She's like, maybe she's 13.
I might have seen her in 13 some years pictures older. Of yours.
Yeah, like we just did a TV show where she choreographed an Olympic level figure skating routine to a Whitney Houston song. It's a docu-series. She's never skated. She's never choreographed.
Yeah.
And it was this weird kind of fever dream. But yeah, she's like one of my best friends. And that's like the weirdest. The fact that she hung in there through all my weird darkness. And since then, I've been able to like be there for her in tough times. And
we were already going through it. Everyone goes through such a weird time in those, awkward phases when you're so young and you just want to fit in.
Yeah.
And then, then your journey took a turn with drugs and stuff. And it's so many, it's cool that y'all remain so close.
To have like photographs of me with braces and acne, like with my disposable camera, like, can I get a picture with you? And then now she's one of my best friends. I like that origin story.
I do appreciate that you were
to me in Parvati.
I do appreciate that you were such a fan of comedy, though.
Oh man,
at such a young age.
Obsessed. From when I was 11, my parents took me to Yuck Yucks, like a comedy club. I sat in the front row and I was like, I'm hooked.
You were hooked.
Yeah.
Have you had a full circle moment of performing at Yuck Yucks all these years later?
Yeah, it's kind of a grimy. I mean, whatever, it's fine.
You're like, you seemed cooler when I was 13.
I was so into comedy, but there's no world that I would have been submerged in it at that age. That's
you were
what's
into
so
music.
Impressive. I was so into music for sure, but equally into comedy. But it felt like music was more accessible because you could just buy a guitar and an amplifier and go hang out in the garage and play some Vag Halen,
Yes, yeah.
And which is what I did. I would just crank it and play.
Don't you feel like when we started doing comedy, like it was more rare to want to be a comedian? Like now it's sort of a thing you can be. And at the time it was like, what? Like it was more, there were fewer people, I think, doing it. Now it's more kind of am I right about that?
Well, fewer people, I think, did it because it's so hard to be successful in it back then. You had to really, go to a club and really work your way up the ladder. The trajectory is a little different right now because people can film themselves doing silly videos or being funny online and all of a sudden have 3 million followers.
Yeah,
and
that's
so
true.
the trajectory is a little. You're not slinging out, jokes in a club and bombing at 2 a.m. and
then
going
home
and write. you said take stills.
I don't have to,
and that's not the journey. For, still people. A number of people still have to do that, but there is this cutting out the middleman at the moment with the online videos.
And I don't think it's at the moment. I think we're going to continue on this trajectory.
Right.
I doubt people are going to be like, I want to go back to, what did you have to do? You had to drive 12 hours a day for a 30-minute set and make $50. That's right.
Yeah. And if people can start like we're doing now. You can literally have a podcast. Tegan and I both have a bed behind us at the moment. And you can have an entire podcast
with a bed
behind you.
That's right. This is waiting for you. This is all here for the taking. Should we hear Alanis's answer?
Yeah, what if it was the same as mine? What if she, you know what I mean? What if it was like, there was this
There was this
comedian.
one kid in Toronto who kept coming up to me.
Or she met Michaela Watkins on a commercial.
Yes. Or at a drum circle.
My answer to the question of what was the most unusual way you've met a friend is I was on a yoga retreat. I was 22 years old. I was on a yoga retreat with Shiva Ray, and I was at Hot Springs in Ojai. And I was there alone. And two people who would become my dear friends were one of them was in the hot springs, and it was clothing optional, so we were all naked.
Whoa.
And I get into the hot tub,
Hello.
and Johanna puts her arm around me and says, "Oh, honey, I'm so happy to be here. This is so amazing." And she's like canoodling with me. And she puts her arm around me and she's rubbing me, and I'm naked, and I haven't been touched in a long time because fame was such that, I thought it would be sort of a kumbaya experience, fame, and that, Sharon Stone would be petting my head by the campfire and Johnny Depp would be making me s'mores or whatever. Anyway, that wound up not being the case at all. So I was undertouched. I think we're all undertouched as a society, but famous people are really undertouched, I think, in general. So I just kind of let her touch me because I was so starving and so lonely. And then Maggie gets into the hot tub, and Maggie has the exact same coloring of hair, almost the same height. And she gets in the hot tub and she goes, "Oh, honey, that's not me." And Johanna was wearing her glasses. So she was sort of taken aback. And then she realized that she was kind of groping somebody she didn't know. Anyway, I laughed. And I was so excited to meet these two people. And we have since become the greatest of friends. And I consider both of them to be my best friends.
Wow.
Oh my God.
That is so funny. Can you imagine?
That is wild.
Being in a hot tub naked with Alanis at the height of Alanis's fame, and you're think it's rubbing on her naked, thinking it's your girlfriend.
Wait, but don't you love that Alanis was like up for it? Like, was like what a nice person. Yeah, actually,
Don't you love that Alanis was up for it, May?
Yeah, I was like, well, that means any of us could have been rubbing off on Alanis. You just had to shoot your shot.
That is such a good story, though. That had the perfect timing and punchline, because I thought it was one thing and then it was another.
I know. I did not see the girl. I did not know where that was going when she was like.
That's a good storyteller. That's a good storyteller right there. She got us.
Do you think anybody's ever made friends? Never mind.
Well, my cousin was in a hot tub once with Lady Gaga only a couple years ago, but they didn't keep in touch.
Wait, who did what? What?
My cousin Joe, he was at a spa like I don't know, somewhere near San Diego, at one of those nice spas that has the communal like hot tubs and steam rooms and stuff. Mm-hmm. And he was in the hot tub, and Lady Gaga got in and with a friend, and they chatted and he had a great chat, but then that was it. They didn't.
Wait,
stay
that's
besties.
it?
That's it.
Okay, I have a Lady Gaga story. Maybe I've already shared it on here.
Here we go.
Stephanie and I were in New York City years ago, maybe possibly even before our little cubs were born. And we had signed up for a spa day. And we went into the spa. And while we were checking in, or maybe checking out from our experience, the woman behind the desk was like, "There's Lady Gaga's assistant. Lady Gaga's assistant." And we were like, "What?" We didn't know what she was saying or what was happening, but she was freaking out because Lady Gaga's assistant was there. God. And she comes in regularly, and she was telling us as though this was a celebrity sighting. She's like, Lady Gaga's assistant. Lady Gaga's assistant.
She didn't know who she was talking to. To two of the driest, least, like, you guys are like, oh my God.
I mean, truly, it was like, and I love Lady Gaga, but if she was there, I'd be like, great,
you'd be
wonderful.
like, hey, What's
Hey,
up?
how's it going, Lady Gaga? Same as Lady
Yeah.
Gaga's assistant.
Oh my
But it
Yeah.
was like, it was such a funny reaction when we were trying to clarify. It's Lady Gaga's assistant? Yes, Lady Gaga's assistant. Lady Gaga's assistant. Catch a glimpse real quick. She's walking out. You know?
Did you
Or
meet
he.
her?
I don't even know. I was going to say, I don't know what the gender, I
Yeah.
couldn't, we weren't that interested to get a glimpse of Lady Gaga's assistant.
Right.
It just didn't line up with this person's excitement.
Tag on it. Atlanta said she was naked at this hot springs. Or do you
That's
guys
right.
go nudie at these situations?
Yeah, I go to the Korean spa and I get naked, but it's a little stressful because I think I told you the woman at the front said, "Are you female?" And I was like, "I don't know. Who's asking?"
Yeah.
And she was like,
I don't know.
Who's asking?
Because I want to keep going to that K spa and it is women only. And in my day-to-day life, I'd be like, no, I'm non-binary, but I was like, yeah. She was like, you don't have boobies. She used the word boobies. I think I have told this before.
I don't think
Yeah.
I don't think you told us this.
Oh, so now when I go to the Korean spa, I wear my towel up around my armpits because I don't know. It's weird.
I can't be going nude in public.
No. I think we should put it on the list.
I was just going to say, I mean,
hot
The
tub.
three of us are gonna just go on an outing.
the three of us are
nude,
just naked, hanging out in
keeping
a
it
spa.
handsome.
Look, maybe we're undertouched. We need to. Oh my
Well,
god!
we can invite Alanis Morissette to come with us.
If I were in the hot tub already and and maybe then I would be like, here, I would go nude then. I don't want to walk around nude.
I mean, and we've established that you sometimes accidentally show your beehole.
I do accidentally show my beehole
when you're getting out of it.
But if it were my wife and me and Alanis, not in a sexual way, Alanis just seems someone I would be very comfortable around. I would probably be fine being nude in the hot tub.
Yeah, she does have that energy that I think I should put you at ease.
Like
She clearly has that energy. She's letting somebody fondle her, a stranger, in a hot spring. Maybe we can create a new weird friendship and reach out to her directly and just say, "Hey, will you hang out nude with us in a tub?"
Well, May and I want to go to her show in Toronto.
Yeah. I actually got tickets. So
shoot, I gotta figure that out. Well, can we ask her if she wants the hot tub after? It's no hot springs, but
I had an experience in New York at the this is connected. So I was at a wedding and then in the next morning I was really hungover and my flight wasn't until like 5 p.m. and I had to check out of my hotel and I had all my suitcases and I thought I'm so hungover. I could go get a massage. And so I Googled like the first place that I could find and I was kind of only half paying attention to what I was doing and I end up at this place and it's called Trojans or something.
Oh.
And it's got neon lights and it's in a basement. And I get down there and I'm like, oh, it's a gay male massage parlor.
Oh.
And in the rooms, there's no sheets on the bed. They're just shiny plastic. And there's like black lights in there. Like it's groovy. It's sexy. There's like showers in the rooms.
Whoa.
And I've booked
plastic sheets.
Plastic sheets. Oh, yeah, baby.
Well.
I know. And I've booked a 2-hour massage with it. And so and the guy comes out and he's like 20 years old and ripped, gorgeous gay guy. And he looks at me and is like, and
he's like, oh man, I got to give a real massage for the next 2 hours.
He starts talking in Spanish to his boss and they're obviously being like, is this a boy? What do we do? And
boobies.
No boobies. Yeah. And so I go lie down and he's like, just take everything off. And there's no sheets. And he goes,
that would be cold.
Yeah, take everything off. And so I'm like, okay, well, so I wore my underwear, like my little briefs, and I lie down, no sheet. And I can tell he's like, what do I do? And then it was I think he didn't know what to make of me. I didn't know what I wanted. I immediately was like, I think I do want to have sex with this man. But how do I give him that signal? And also, is he
I'd be
up
like,
for
please
that?
don't have sex with me. I really want a massage.
It was really confusing. And so it was like 2 hours of like like edging, like he got a boner, and then I shouldn't be telling the story, but anyway, nothing happened.
Wait, we're getting this far in, and then you're saying you shouldn't.
No more story.
Yeah, well, he
was clearly into it.
Well, you never asked me to turn over.
What are you, a detective, Fortune? I mean, yeah.
Yeah, but what was making, I mean, just touching you, or were you like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about? Were you egging him on?
That's a glimpse into Fortune's sexy time right there.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking about.
He was just getting a boner touching you, or you were like, yeah.
Listen,
that's what's up.
I'm sure I was giving signals. He was like grazing the area, sort of testing the waters, and I was like, at this point, I'm like, well, let's see what happens. But also, I'm like, I don't know what I want. He's like, I don't know what this person wants.
Yeah,
and then basically,
normally a guy signs up for a 2-hour massage and he whacks him off in 10 minutes, and his job's done.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, my hands are gonna hurt. I'm giving you a massage for 2 hours.
I know. So then massage ends, and then I go to pay, and they're like, we only take cash. And I'm like, oh fuck. Well, I have to go to the ATM. And so the guy's like, okay, I'll come with you, because they're scared I'm going to run away.
Yeah.
And then it was just so awkward having to be in bright daylight with this 20-year-old guy. Like, he was so young. When I got out, I was like,
that's awkward.
Yeah. I just felt like really...
I love these precarious situations you get into, and then you just go with it. You're like, well, I'm here.
Listen, isn't that the Alanis energy of like, sure, I'm in a hot spring.
Yeah, bringing that up. That's why you and Alanis are very simpatico. You're just, what else?
That took a turn. We got to the end of the podcast, and then I threw a really weird anecdote in. Oh, man.
But see, that's what we do here. We keep people on their toes. We keep them on the edge of their seats.
Yeah.
We never know where we're going to go.
Yeah. We do not know.
That's why this is
that's how we keep it handsome.
What a podcast situation.
Well, that was a very fun episode, and huge thank you to Alanis Morissette for
Alanis, who listens to the Handsome Pod, by the way. Shout out to Alanis for listening to our podcast. We're honored.
That's crazy.
Since we're talking about this, if you are a person that you think we might want to have on the podcast, reach out. Or maybe if you work for somebody,
a person
of note, a person of note, or maybe you work for a person of note and you're like, I could get my boss to
if you are Lady Gaga's assistant
this
podcast.
Lady Gaga's assistant.
Please, Lady Gaga's assistant, reach out to us.
But also,
that's what Alanis did, right? She reached out, wanted to submit a question. So
that's wild to me. Alanis is truly a hero of mine. That is crazy. Crazy.
It is such an honor, because we are all big fans of Alanis's.
Truly.
But also, if you're listening, let us know who you think we should have on the pod. Who do you want to hear a question from? Let us know.
Let us know.
Please let us know.
Let us know. Well, I only have one show left in my entire tour. I can't believe it. Charlestown, West Virginia. I'll be there August 10th at the Hollywood Casino, and then that's a wrap on my Live, Laugh, Love tour.
Damn.
Congrats.
West Virginia.
But I will be doing a show with you guys live here in Toronto.
August 24th.
August 24th and 4th. That's going to be so fun.
That's true. And
I can't wait.
If you people out there in this great, great big old world want to see me do comedy, go to tignotaro.com and see the random gigs that I have on weekends or local shows in Los Angeles and all around. tignotaro.com. Also check out my stand-up special on Prime Video called Hello Again.
Yeah, I got no live shows except the Handsome Show, but you can always watch SAP, my special on Netflix, or Feel Good, or one of those things.
Nice.
Yes, one of those things. And until then,
keep it
handsome.
Home shopping season is upon us. Whether you're buying a new home or an existing homeowner, you're going to want to save on your policy. Home insurance doesn't have to be a hassle with Allstate.
Check Allstate first, and you could save $574 on your home insurance. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.